one shot. You only get one shot. You only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Denver Broncos and the Green Bay Packers. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level. And sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
Snap comes at 1, and it's Allen. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on third down.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. To throw, it's Allen. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Straight ahead running. Here's Samuels. And they showed off a nice juke of the defender, but the next wave there to bring him down. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. They'll try again. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A great effort there. His 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Now remember, the last time out, they threw the interception. That led to the touchdown, so now time to regroup.
It certainly is, and their goal right now as they go back out on the field, a calming drive, something that takes the ball, keeps it for a while, lets the defense relax a little bit, lets the offense regain confidence in their game plan.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Allen. He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okwuegbunam. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. And that is caught. He's got his running back downfield. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Javonte Williams, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7.
That ties the game at 7.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And they are over 500 for the season, 4-3. They got back above 500 with a victory last week. And, Charles, you think this is a very important week for them, do you not?
I certainly do, because when you start to do the math, and yes, I'm using my fingers to count. If you're 4-4 at the midway point, let's say you're saying 10 wins is your cutoff line for a playoff berth. It's usually right around that number. A loss here, all of a sudden you've got to go 6-2 down the stretch just to reach 10 wins. That means this game is vital.
On 1st down, Rodgers. A throw left side, hold in by Hamler. Just a gain of a couple there, and that'll make it 2nd down. The Packers at 4-3, a game over 500. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
He has it complete to Christian Watson. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 43. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And this one is incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Got Dobbs over the middle. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. This defense for the Broncos, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And in this first quarter of play, this will remain a tie ball game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. Throwing on 1st down is Allen. That's complete. It's Okuwebunam. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. He'll get that complete to Albert O. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Allen to throw once more. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy.
Touchdown, Denver.
Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they were in field goal range last time out but couldn't connect.
It's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Rodgers now to throw. Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. Everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that.
On 1st down, it's Samuels. And some room to roam now. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 49 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the
And he coughed it up. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers. Under pressure, they got him again. Chase Young make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they are able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll send a receiver in motion left. To throw on 2nd and 10. Allen. A quick pass to Cup. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So the penalty rightfully declined. They'll keep the yardage on the completion.
Still some disagreement by the defense, though, because he thought that was just good, strong coverage, and the contact's going both ways, so why is there a flag? In the end, though, doesn't matter. Still a completed pass.
Allen off the play fake. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now Allen again. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Caught on the left side by Ginn. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. To throw, it's Rodgers. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
He finds Watson complete. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Trying the left side with Samuels. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Rodgers going to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 3rd down and goal. This Denver defense trying to hold up for one more play. Now Rodgers. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. That's caught at the 2. A great open field tackle that's going to stop him shy of the goal line. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And the Bronco defense comes up big. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry. Able to hit on a big play right there in the 2-minute drill. Now they've got a chance to use all the remaining clock and build on their lead right before halftime.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Allen going to throw. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Allen. He's got Cooper Kupp on the slant. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. And again, it's Allen. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 36. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Allen now looks to throw. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. Operating from the red zone now. Allen. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Jerry Jeudy as the 1st half is winding down. And the Broncos will extend their lead here just before halftime. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass his young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen. And it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So they take a decent shot, CD, and the flag comes out for pass interference.
Yeah, a little DPI, as they like to call it in the business, right? And the farther you get downfield, the more frenetic things get, and the more calm and control you have to remain as a defender. That was a little bit of a slip there, and the penalty will go against him.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense, 1st and 10. And it'll be intercepted. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st half. So we are at halftime here on Halloween. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the third quarter. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. Two-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession. Yeah, that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives. Try and slow things down a little bit. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. As they started that drive, I think they looked at the scoreboard and said, this is a manageable deficit, guys, but let's go ahead and start cutting it down right here. Instead, an interception happened, so a two-possession game might become 3. So as we get going here in the second half, this could rapidly reach the point where there isn't enough time left for a comeback if their defense doesn't bail them out. So after the INT, it's Allen. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 25 yards that time. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Packers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They overload him that time on the safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
On 1st down, Allen. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Allen. He He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Allen. That's complete. It's Okuwebunam. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. A field goal try forthcoming now for the Broncos. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And this one is right down Broadway. And the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that can all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a first down. To throw is Rodgers. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Packers. K.J. Hamler. 49 yards. And the Packers are back within a score. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. And that looked almost to be a case of, quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished. The extra point splits the uprights, and that cuts the lead to 24-17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To the air, Allen. Trying to lay one up deep. And that is incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Allen will try again on 2nd down. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Again, they'll throw with Allen. To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. That's a burst right there.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Allen. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Broncos are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Point after, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And out across midfield down to the 45. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Rodgers again now. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Broncos are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Throw left side complete. That's Williams. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety.
The goal here is about getting any kind of positive yardage in this spot because you don't care who, you don't care how. You just want to try and buy a little space and get away from your own end zone. But in this spot, the defense was all over that play and equally motivated to stick them with a safety.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be second down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical. And you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson. It got his man complete. Touchdown, Packers. Christian Watson, 60 yards. And the Packers have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. No problem there on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. It's another first down as this time they get an even 20. Allen. This will be caught. Judy. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. Another good throw there in what has been a strong rookie season to this point, Charles, as he now has surpassed the 3,000-yard mark with that last completion.
And just think, he's been forced to learn on the job here in his first year. Normally, veterans talk about, hey, I've got the answers to the test before the game even begins. But this guy's taking the test with every throw, with every game. And so far, he's passing with flying colors.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
And on first and goal, they decided to throw for it, but the coverage was excellent. And he kept holding the ball, hoping someone would shake free. Instead, he's hit and dropped. And now, they're not even in the red zone anymore.
Throwing on second and long. Allen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. A great play there with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point safely through, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage.
Broncos 38, Packers 26.
The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. Rodgers' throw finds its target, Dobbs. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Rodgers now to throw. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. From just shy of midfield, Rodgers. Right side to Watson. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. That's complete to Dobbs. And he will be taken down, but a big play there as it comes just as we reach the 2-minute warning. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards. Rodgers now on 1st down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Rodgers to throw once more. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Important extra point up and through. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, they can smell victory, partner. They can see it on the horizon, but certainly we're not done yet here. Defense still has 3 timeouts, and obviously this is a very slim lead they're holding on to.
And let's face it, the easiest way to get this done, challenge your ground game. Challenge your offensive line, your tight ends, your receivers. Anyone who's going to lay down a block, don't let there be penetration, because they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and maybe bring extra people to the ball. If you can do that, make them burn.
Williams loses the football, and the Packers pick it up. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
I know when you're looking at the score.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On 2nd down, Williams. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. To throw is Allen. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. That's pulled in at the 32. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now Rodgers. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow, wow.
CD, that was an all-or-nothing drive to win this football game, and they rose to the occasion to take the lead here in the waning moments.
And how about how they got it done? No timeouts left. They take it downfield, execute perfectly, and get it done. Now they don't leave their opponent with a heck of a lot of time on the clock.
Point after, right down the middle. And it would appear, barring some late heroics, they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he takes it all the way across the 40 before going out of bounds.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. First and 10. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions, and that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Ball on the 42 as they come up second and 10. Throwing is Allen. He's going to let it fly. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages. Charles, that drive was perfect, methodical, executed so well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, they made sure they bled the clock out as well and denied their opponent a chance to respond. That's just terrific situational football to end this one.
The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25. One final try now for Rodgers. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So we race the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking like the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy. In addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up, it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it, because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded, because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So for the Broncos,
they climb to 6-2 on the year as they close in on the midpoint of this 17-game schedule.
And they'll head back home next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions.
Bye.